Rage Quit.
Hello and welcome back Around the Bonfire with Don't Rage Quit. Here with us today, getting cozy and kindled, we are joined by Saria, aka SariaSlays, whose name is very fun to say if you put on a dodgy accent. SariaSlays. She is another Twitch streamer. Now I know what you're thinking, guys. Oh my goodness, Rachel. Third month in a row, Twitch streamers. What are you doing? It's almost like I really like Twitch. It's almost like I've just started this podcast and talking about Twitch is really comfortable for me. But hear me out. Hear me out. So Saria, of course, has a little twist as well. She isn't just an amazing Twitch streamer, Twitch partner, content creator. She also works for Twitch. So if any of you have ever been curious about what it's like to work for Twitch versus what it's like to stream for Twitch, hang tight. This is the podcast for you. Not only that, but today we're going to have any old excuse to talk about Dark Souls and The Legend of Zelda because Saria and I have very, very similar interests when it comes to video games. So all of you Soulsborne aficionados, hang tight. Let's get cozy, kindled, and let's on with the show. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more episodes, of course, because subscribing lets me know I'm doing a good job. Comments, constructive criticism, always appreciated. And maybe next month we'll talk about something other than streaming. I love you guys. Enjoy the show. Hello,
Yes, that's the one.
Do you know what? We're going to go with that because sometimes in content creation, streaming is easy. Saria, streaming is easy, but recording stuff isn't. Hello everyone and welcome Around the Bonfire with Don't Rage Quit. Today around my bonfire, getting cozy and kindled, as I said, is Saria. Hello. Or Saria. I feel really weird calling you Saria.
Yeah. Everyone is either a Saria person or a Saria person, but I'm good with both. So
to be fair, they both sound very similar.
Yeah, they do.
So there's that. It's not like I'm calling you, I don't know, Chloe.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. A brand new name.
Yeah. I could call you Slays.
Do that.
I get people that call me
badass.
Don't.
Shut up.
People that call me Don't, I swear to God. Anyway, we don't care about these people. I have an icebreaker, as always, because I'm always very nervous recording these. The icebreaker for you today, Miss Slays, is what is the best movie trilogy?
Oh, trilogy. Now, I thought you were just going to ask what's the best movie, and I was like, I know this, but trilogy.
I know what mine is, of course, and I'm really curious if you say the same thing.
It kind of, obviously, Lord of the Rings comes to mind first, but I don't know if that's just because it's the first thing that I think of. Mm-hmm. And then there's some films that should have been a trilogy but weren't, like The Hunger Games, I guess.
Oh, that was a quadrilogy.
Aye, that had 4 parts to it. Why not go with Lord of the Rings?
Why not?
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that.
Because we're already pretty much the same person, so why not have the favourite movie
Was
trilogy?
Was that yours?
That is mine, absolutely.
Okay.
Massive Lord of the Rings fan, yeah.
Love that, yeah.
I wondered, because obviously you play a lot of Dark Souls, so obviously you seem to be into the whole medieval fantasy kind of style. Your name is SariaSlays, which is obviously from Zelda.
Yes.
So would you say that's kind of like your favourite sort of genre is fantasy, medieval fantasy kind of style?
I would never actually say that. If somebody asked me, what's your favorite game genre, I would never say that. Or films, I would never say that. But now that you've explained it like that, maybe it is. And I just didn't realize.
Maybe I was doing some self-analysis and then I thought, oh, hey, this is actually a thing.
Exactly. Maybe I need to do some more reading into that whole genre because I probably would enjoy a lot of the stuff from it. So you're right.
Have you ever played The Witcher 3?
No, but that's on my list.
It's so good.
Everyone says I'd love it, so I need to play it.
Fantastic. So I've asked you here today. 1, because I just really like you. 2, because you're my people. And 3, because obviously we've got a lot in common. So I think we'll start from the top. So what's your biggest hobby, Saria? What's your biggest hobby?
That's a hard one. Apart from sleeping and eating.
Work with me here.
Streaming.
Ooh, okay. So tell us a little about your streaming.
So started streaming it a couple of years ago, very on and off. I actually didn't watch Twitch before I started streaming. It was very strange.
Just went straight into it.
Yeah, I went straight into it. My boyfriend John suggested that I would like it, and I was like, why not? Because I was already gaming a lot anyway. And a lot of my friend group that I had at the time weren't into games. So he was like, oh, you could like meet loads of people that like games as well. And since then I've just not stopped. I really enjoy streaming because it's like not only like you're able to play video games, which is like amazing. Like who could deny? But also like just getting to meet loads of people and like become friends with people who are really like-minded. So yeah, I think that's why it's become such a big part of my life. So yeah.
What sort of stuff do you stream?
Well, Dark Souls.
Hey!
Well, that wasn't always the case. Like, believe it or not, the first game I ever streamed was Call of Duty.
Ugh.
Yes. Ugh. Which is so weird because I would never play that now. Like, never mind on stream, I wouldn't play it off stream. But I think it was just one of those things that it was one of those games that I had lying around and I thought, I'll just play this and see what happens.
Yeah.
But nowadays I'm more inclined to play like RPGs, story-based games. Like Dark Souls is one of the things that I really enjoy playing because of the challenge run aspect of it. And just like getting chat involved and interacting and them seeing the reactions and seeing their reactions and I just really like playing games like that.
That's awesome. I mean, video games like are the core of what Twitch is. It just feels like it's such an amazing place to like find, like you said, so many people who just love heckin' video games, and especially with Dark Souls. So the Dark Souls community is obviously massive on Twitch. Would you say that like deciding what made you decide to stream Dark Souls? Did you know it was going to blow up like this?
No, like, do you know, I feel like Dark Souls has always been kind of a game that not that many people play. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if you've realised this too, but the past year or so, it's kind of has blown up again.
Do you think it's been with the remaster?
Yeah, I think so. The first Dark Souls game I played was the remastered one. Like, I played Bloodborne, and then everyone was like, you should play Dark Souls, it's coming out, like, the new one, or the remastered one. And the reason I got into Dark Souls in general was a streamer called KWA323. He's like one of my favorite streamers, and he does a lot of like Dark Souls challenge runs and like just crazy like runs with mods and stuff. And it just looked really fun. So that's kind of where it started. But yeah, I think you're right in saying that it blew up a lot with the remaster. And then I guess Sekiro came out, which was also a FromSoft game, and it probably encouraged people to like go back and play the other ones.
I found Sekiro quite accessible for how difficult it is. I actually think it's maybe the most difficult out of all the Soulsborne games. Sekiro is the hardest, but yet it was the most accessible. And I think that really did contribute to a lot of people sort of getting into it and picking it up and then trying Dark Souls. Yeah, for sure. Like, because I personally would also attribute a lot of my channel growth and success to Dark Souls 1 in particular. Like, even before the remaster, like, there was always, it almost seems like you need to find something that you're really passionate about that's not too big and not too small, and then that's it, that's the sweet spot.
That's so true, and I think that's where a lot of people can go wrong on Twitch, is like thinking that, oh, the category that's the biggest right now, maybe I should play that, and that's how people will find me because it's at the top. But actually, if you think of how many people are in that category, like, your chances of being found and people wanting to watch you are smaller. So yeah, I think you're right. With something like Dark Souls, there will always be someone playing it, which is why I think it's a good place to start if you're not sure what to stream and that is a kind of game that you enjoy. And you meet so many people as well. Like, I know so many people now from that Souls community that are good friends of mine, and including you, because I'm pretty sure
I met you when I was playing Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it was actually Becky, Lost the Lunatic, that raided you or something.
That's right.
You were playing Dark Souls, and I was like, and you had like Zelda stuff on your stream, and I was like, we're the same, we're also Scottish. Like,
Twitch is awesome.
It's so cool for that. So yeah, definitely, that's what's kept me playing Souls, is like the community aspect of it, I think.
Oh, 100%. So like, even though obviously, like you mentioned, it's infinitely replayable because there's always a challenge you can do, and I literally do the exact same thing, so I feel you. It is the community and how much people enjoy just watching the same game over and over again that keeps you going back to it. So that's really special. So, I mean, I'm assuming you also, like, enjoy a little bit of masochism. Like, you love pain.
A wee bit.
How many tries was it on Lawrence? How many?
602.
Do you want to explain what that is for the people who aren't in the know?
Why not?
Go for it.
Yeah, so basically, my first challenge run that I ever did on was actually on Bloodborne, and it was a blood level 4 challenge, which is basically you do not level up the whole
Much
game.
harder than it sounds.
It really is. Like, you have a tiny health bar, your stamina's rubbish, like everything, your ability to like use certain weapons and stuff. It's just so hard. And Lawrence is like, I don't even think I did him on my first playthrough, but like a lot of people don't struggle
He's
with
so
him.
missable, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. But like everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna love this on Blood Level 4," and I was like, "I'll be fine. It's only the last boss. Like I'll do it." And then 602 attempts later, I finally did it. And I'll never do that again. No.
Well, I mean,
That's enough.
but you've done it, so you don't have to do it again. That's the point. Like, I am never doing anything with one hand ever again because I've done it.
That was rough. Like watching you do that, it's like I love watching people do challenge runs, but there's some that I will only watch people do. Like I don't think I can ever do them myself.
Don't see me ever doing blood level 4, to be honest. So
Yeah.
those 600 attempts were obviously, that wasn't the one stream. How long did this go on for?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it was like a week and a half because like I only stream like a couple of days a week. So I think it ran over like 2 weeks. And it was just everybody that was there knew what the script was. They were like, right, Lawrence, all stream 3 hours, like let's go.
See, I think there's something really, really special about that though, because it was literally, it was more flipping running than it was fighting half the time.
I know. Because you're dying so quickly, like
And yet, people kept coming back and they were cheering you on, and it was so flipping exciting. I was there. I missed the kill, which I was livid about. I put in all that slog with all the tries, and I missed the kill.
rip. Yeah, you watch like the boring part where I try to kill him and then I actually do, you're not there.
See, that's amazing though. Like, right, that in there, that feeling of me like being gutted that I missed it. I want to make sure I don't miss the next one. See, that is something really special about challenge runs, about Dark Souls, about rallying your community behind you, trying to get a goal. It's amazing.
I honestly don't think I could have even. I know that sounds so cheesy. Like I couldn't have done it without you, but like, seriously, like I would have gone insane if I was doing it on my own. I would have given up. So yeah, it means a lot to have people behind you that believe that you can do it, even when you don't. Like
That's so awesome. Oh, you have an amazing community. Like honestly, you have your
love
mods
them.
are incredible. Your regulars are incredible. Like they're just so warm and welcoming, and I just love you. I just
See
love
that? I love you too. I think like the one thing that I think everybody on Twitch wants is like a community that makes other people feel like they can join that community as well. And like every time somebody tells me that, oh, the community, and that's something I get a lot, is the community is welcoming. Like that's usually the first thing people say. And that makes me so happy because like that's literally all I want from streaming, is to like make people feel like they can be a part of something. And if they want to be a part of this mess, then that's fine with me.
I see no mess.
Well, look at my VODs.
I mean, I've seen them live. Do you think that Dark Souls and sort of doing this sort of heavy duty, kind of like arduous, that's a good word for it,
That's a great word.
do you think that sort of contributed towards having this really sort of dedicated community?
I think you're right, because the Souls community, like I said before, they are very supportive, and like even if it doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're playing it for the first time, if you're doing like a Blood Level 4 run, if you're doing an NG plus 999 run, like
God.
yeah, imagine. But yeah, they're always kind of there and like available if you need help, and like I think that's just such a nice reassuring feeling to know that people are always kind of going to be there. And like if you're not playing Dark Souls, maybe that community won't be around, and that's fine, but it's like to know that they don't even really know you and they're still there like cheering you on and stuff is like really, really nice. So yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, obviously it's not all just like sunshine and roses. You do get the trolls, of course, but you get that with any category.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, I honestly, I'm not too sure how to compare it, because I probably have played more Dark Souls on stream than I have any other game. So I guess like my perception of how many trolls are there is probably warped, but I honestly feel like the only big problem with the Souls trolliness is like people who want to tell you what to do.
Like
And it might not-
backseating.
Backseating, yeah. And it might just be to try and help. Like I said, like I've felt that before. Like when I've been in a stream, I'm like, oh, it's right there. You just need to go around that corner, and like you want to tell them, but like it does ruin the experience for a lot of people, especially on a blind run. So that's really the only thing I guess I've ever experienced with that.
That can be quite difficult to deal with, especially with something like Dark Souls. I mean, there's a lot of other games like it. Horror games are like it. I've actually found it a bit in The Witcher as well, where there's a fine line between you wanting your community to be happy and wanting to welcome in new people, but also you kind of have to stick by your goals, stick by your opinions and say like, look, I don't care if this like annoys you, but do not tell me what to do, kind of thing. And it can be quite difficult because you're like, right, am I going to put people off by saying these things? So no, Dark Souls is like 100% such a good example of a game where backseating, people should just know that it's not what you do. You laughed at me there.
It's just so funny that like just when you're saying people should know, it's like they really should.
They really should know.
It's in your title, it's in a tag, your chat is constantly saying no spoilers, like all of that stuff is like, it's there, just read it, please.
That's just the internet though, like the internet don't read. Like, hello, what are we playing today? The game is below the video.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, I was onto something there and I've completely forgotten what it was, but I'm enjoying talking about Dark Souls for sure.
Oh mate, I'm always happy to talk about Dark Souls. I think you were talking about the balance between keeping people interested and staying in the community and trying to kind of put your values forward and say this isn't okay to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for me that was one of the hardest things about like to learn about how to manage a community, because I'm very much someone who doesn't want to cause trouble, just wants everybody to be happy and get along, very much just like a team player, like let's do what everyone wants to do, it doesn't matter how I feel. But been trying to get better at that and be a bit less passive in terms of like what I want does matter, especially because it's like my stream and like you need to curate the kind of community that you want to have around. So think as hard as it can be to just kind of say this isn't okay, if this persists I need to ban you, I need to do this and that, like you need to be very like adamant that just it's going to be better for everyone if you do that, and it's going to show other people that they're okay to do that too.
No, absolutely, and that goes for any kind of content as well, not just obviously video games, but you'll obviously get people coming in, oh god, on even like something like Twitch Sings, it's like basically you do what you want to do and you don't give a butt about what anyone says. This is something that keeps coming up in every single sort of discussion that I have about Twitch. It's a really important thing that it's your content, and yeah, you're making it for people to enjoy, but at the end of the day it's yours. So
and I think we do lose sight of that as we do grow a community and we see everyone's personal interests, what they like to play, what part of the game is their favorite, and that you want to make sure that everyone's enjoying their time. But again, you do need to have your own enjoyment out of streaming, or else what's the point in doing it?
Exactly. But there you go, that's Dark Souls. Do you think that specialising your content around Dark Souls helped your channel grow faster? Because you got a Twitch partner this year, by the way, which is awesome.
And so did you.
And so did I, but no, this is about you.
It's the year of the Scots.
We're taking over.
I know, right?
Do you think specialising and sort of hammering down and doing the same sort of games did help with that?
It's funny, I was talking about this yesterday. I think it kind of did, but in a way that I didn't even like anticipate. Like, started playing Bloodborne, my Blood Level 4 run in October. And that few months leading up to like Christmas time, which was round about the time that my Path to Partner was almost there, like the achievement, I just seen so many new faces and I didn't know where they were coming from, because like we were saying before, like not everyone plays Dark Souls and it's very much kind of the same kind of people that are in that community. So I was like, how is this happening? Like, I don't understand. But I think it's kind of that consistency of content that people know that's the game you're playing. You're going to be playing that every time you stream. I want to be there. I know what time you stream. I'm going to hang out. Whereas if you're playing it every once in a while, people don't know, and therefore they don't come for that content. So I think in a way that definitely helped. Like the amount of friends I made and the amount of people who were so nice to share their community with me in raids and stuff like that. And I just made so many friends that then were nice enough to stick around and like hang out in the stream to help me kind of get to that point. And then, but there's another side to it where I started to get a little bit worried about changing to another game. Because I didn't, as I said, anticipate just, oh, I'm going to play Bloodborne and people are going to watch me and I'm going to get partnered. Like, that's not how it went. But the more that I played Bloodborne, the more I realized, oh, something's happening here. Like, I don't know how, but it is. The numbers are going up. Like, what if I change game? Is nobody going to want to watch me anymore? Because, like, honestly, before I played that, like, the challenge run, I was probably sitting at, like, maybe 30, 40 viewer average. And then that few months, I was, like, always around 60, 75, and then going up and up. So I was like, I don't want to go back to, like, after feeling how, you know, the motivation that you feel when you're close. I didn't want, and I know this is where you say, oh, well, numbers aren't everything, but they are
important.
When you're that close,
yeah,
you do start to get very invested in it. So yeah, that's why I was going to say I was scared to change games, and then eventually I did get partnered, and now I'm starting to then incorporate other games in, and I was still scared to do that even though I had reached the goal. Because I was like, well, now everyone's going to leave because I got partnered. And they're like, okay, done. Tick.
Next.
Exactly. But now that I started to play some, you know, I played The Last of Us for the first time on stream. And I'm starting to play Ori and the Blind Forest. And, like, the same people are there. And, like, it's just so nice and reassuring that it's like, people will always stay for the person. Even if they stay for the game as well. Most people will be there just for you, and no matter what you play, as long as you're evoking like a genuine personality and genuine ability to interact with people, I think you're fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And the lesson is, yes, numbers are important, but I think that's not the only thing you should focus on.
100%. And I don't feel ashamed to say that, like, for the longest time, like, numbers they mattered a lot to me, because at the end of the day, it's really taxing on your mental health, streaming. Your statistics do not equal your value, but you just can't help it. It's really hard, especially when you're pushing for partners. So you can play it safe and obviously do what you know is working. This goes for anyone who's sort of like aiming to get affiliate as well. You'll probably see a lot more success if you like specialize in one thing. It doesn't have to be Dark Souls, because that might not be your thing. But yeah, and then once you, that can help for sort of like exposing you to new people, like you've seen. Yeah. And then once you've got them, they belong to you.
They are yours.
Once you've got them interested in you through this game, then you'll probably see that they'll keep coming back for sure. No, I'm really glad you said that. I was really hoping you'd say that. Yeah. Because it can be really scary to be, when you do finish a game, on one hand, you're really happy because you're like, yay, new game. And then on the other hand, you're like, oh, who am I never going to see again?
That's the thing. Yeah. Like, it's so hard. And especially because I didn't really think about it. I never actually expected any growth from doing that. So because it happened, I then associated it with that. I was like, oh, this growth only happened because I'm playing Dark Souls. When I don't play Dark Souls, I will not have growth. Do you know what I mean?
Not at all. All it did was sort of expose you to a lot of awesome people. Yeah. And it wasn't just because of that one game. It was because of you.
Well, that's what I'm trying to like get in the head, get in the nut, which is really hard, especially like you said, when you're on that steady incline to like get into the partner like stage. And I think you just need to try and recenter it and just be like, I'm still having fun. Mm-hmm. Yes, the numbers matter a lot to me, but I need to make sure that it's not consuming me, I think is the...
Absolutely. What's the rush?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the rush?
Exactly.
Enjoy the ride.
100%.
Awesome. Awesome. No, it's really good. I'm feeling really positive about this because I feel like on one hand, we're just chatting about content, but I really feel like there's some really important things coming out here that I really like people need to know.
100%.
Because we're not getting like, I don't know, we're not really getting anything out of this, if that makes sense. We're just being honest, completely honest.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's important.
It's just like a casual chat, but then when you do go into these things, I feel like you do get important like learning points that other people watching this can hopefully like take forward. And that's again one of the reasons that I stream, is to like help people. Like I want other people to also be able to stream and enjoy it. And when people tell me that maybe I inspired them to stream or whatever, I'm like, That's awesome. I love that.
Oh no, that's brilliant. Yeah. So obviously Dark Souls is amazing. You're amazing. Your content's amazing. Twitch streaming is amazing. Life's pretty good. TwitchCon got cancelled, which is not good. But maybe we'll get to go to that partner party next year.
Oh my God. I was so sad. Like, I literally like seen it and I was like, no, because I was going to be working on it. Like,
you were.
Staff. And I was like, I really wanted to do that. Also, like, meet so many people because I was sure there's a lot more people going this year than there was last. And the thing with the partner part and like having the extra perks. So all of that, I was like so excited for it. And then it's not happening. But yeah, hopefully next time.
It sucks so much. So you mentioned you were going to be working at it. So now I feel like this is a good time to mention that, by the way, she works for Twitch.
I do. I have a shiny wrench badge next to my name. If you ever see me in chat and you're like, what is that thing? It's a Twitch staff badge.
You hover over it. It's very intimidating. The first time I saw it, you hover over it and it's like, oh,
I think people think... yeah, that's what that says.
Twitch ban me.
That's literally what I get every time I go into stream, though. It's like, oh no, are you here to ban me? Are you here to monitor? I'm like, no, I like this game.
So tell us a little bit. So what is your job? What do you do?
Yeah, so I work, well, I'm in London right now. I am Scottish, but I relocated to London last June to work for Twitch. And I am a part of the customer experience team. So essentially, just to explain, that's kind of dealing with customers, support tickets, things like that. So if you ever have an issue regarding Twitch and you write a ticket, it's probably coming to me and my team. So we get to see a lot of kind of what issues customers are facing. Like, is that to do with the new interface? Is there a purchase problem? Like, a lot of troubleshooting behind the scenes when people write tickets to us. So it's quite interesting to see the back end of it as a streamer, as someone who was a streamer before I worked there. So yeah, pretty fun.
That's really cool. Do you ever, like, does stuff ever come up? You must learn something, like, every day, just through finding it out through work. What's the most, like, craziest thing, I suppose, that's come up? Can you think of anything?
There's usually things that like only seem to be an issue for one or two people, and then you realize like there's floods of stuff coming through and you're like, oh, like the payment system's down, or like emotes aren't uploading. Like it's like very like interesting to see how that flow works, because like I guess if something goes wrong, you just expect, oh, there's an issue with like the website or there's something there, but actually we wouldn't know that unless people told us that.
Yeah.
So it's really important that people do that. If you notice something about the website that's wrong, or like something isn't right with your stream, just write a ticket in, because it helps us to learn a lot about it. So, but I feel like there's so much stuff that I didn't actually know until I started working there, and it has actually helped me with my content creation and stuff as well. Even just like basic stuff like how to troubleshoot like a stream that isn't going, like your stream isn't going live, it's not recording. Like even now, I know better how to do that. So definitely helped me in my own streaming.
That's awesome. Yeah, and even just like for example, the other day I was trying to upload my cheer emotes and it wasn't uploading. It was always the second one that I uploaded was never in. So you know you do 28, 56, 100, and 12. It was always the second one that I uploaded. I did a different one every time and it wasn't uploading. But then I just thought, oh, they'll fix it later. But I never submitted a ticket. But you guys literally would have no idea that
Exactly.
that was. I didn't even think of that. Well, there you
go.
You have an issue.
People are very like, I think a lot of people don't like to message unless they think something's extremely wrong. So like I would encourage people, like if you do have something like that, like an issue with uploading things, that's usually like I assume it's quite a simple thing to fix, because it's like the engineers that deal with that stuff. But yeah, we would never know unless somebody told us about that. So you guys can help us to improve your experience by just doing that. So yeah.
That's awesome. So you literally just like, you must get like, what, hundreds of emails a day just to sort of sit through. Is that why you sort of do some work from home sometimes? Is that quite chilled out?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm working from home today actually, so it allows me to do things like this, where I might not be able to do if I was in the office, and I can just choose my own hours, so that's really nice. But yeah, working from home, I kind of do work through my emails. Sometimes there are meetings, but we can do it through Google Meets, because obviously there's like US teams, so we all need to communicate via the internet all the time. But yeah, it's like a really relaxing job, and like compared to the jobs that I did before, like it's awesome. And it's really nice to actually enjoy your job. Like I love Twitch, and I loved Twitch before I worked there, but now that I work there, it's like everything is just kind of, it just fits into place now. And it's like I do my work, I come home and I stream, and I have time to do everything that I want to do, and it couldn't be any better than that. So
Does it never feel like a bit of Twitch overload sometimes?
So it does, mostly because of the thing we were talking about earlier with the Twitch staff badge. So the one thing that I've noticed has really changed my experience of streaming in terms of now being staff is that every time I go into a stream or a channel, a lot of people only focus on the staff badge, and it can really, really change in subtle ways how you feel about being there. So like, if somebody welcomes me with Monka S Twitch staff, oh my god, everyone hide the memes, and you don't know that person or that community, it kind of feels, I know this might sound really like dumb, and it's like they're just interested to know what it is, which is so fine. But like every single time you go into a channel, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that, it's every time, it gets a little bit taxing, and you're just like, okay, I don't feel like you want me to be here, so I'm probably just gonna go. And I know that that's not the case, and like people are just having a laugh, but every day, every stream, it has altered how I go about interacting, and often I just lurk in streams now, unless it's a community that I'm already part of and integrated in. I usually do a lot of lurking now because it's just easier that way, you know.
That's a shame, because if you're looking for new channels to befriend, new communities to meet,
yeah,
that sort of, can you not sort of hide it?
So you can't hide it. The thing is, they did ask me at the beginning, they were like, do you want to have it on your main account, or do you want to have it like on an alt account? You could just make one. And I was like, at the time, I want the staff badge. It's really cool.
It's really cool, yeah.
And like, it is cool and I like it, but like I didn't anticipate this kind of experience, because I had never really seen a staff member before in chat, so I didn't actually know how people dealt with that. So it was an interesting add-on, like side effect to having it. It's not something that stops me from going into new communities. It's not something that stops me from chatting, but it is something that makes me a bit wary of whether I'm going to do that. So there's like good and bad, you know, to work in there, but it's not something that has really negatively impacted. Like,
no, of course.
I would never stop streaming. The one good thing is that when I'm streaming, people don't realize, because you're not chatting. So people don't realize that I'm staff. And then that's when I like to bring in, I'm staff, when there's trolls and stuff. And they're like, I'm like, you know, I can just report you right now. And it will go straight to the top. Like, be careful. So there's the benefits to it.
That's awesome. There was a thing on Twitter recently with a Twitch partner feeling like she can't go into new people's chats because people only focus on the partner badge, and it's really interesting to hear from someone who has the staff badge and the partner badge.
Oh yeah,
that feels that way as well.
It's funny now that I have the partner badge, I don't feel like I get as much questionable comments like, oh, what are you? What is that thing? It's more like, you have this and that. That's so cool. Like, people seem to see it as more of like a positive, cool thing than like a strange thing. So that's interesting.
So almost like the partner badge kind of like verified the whole thing.
Yeah, as in like, oh, you have a staff, but you're also partners, so like we like you.
And you're one of us.
Okay. But yeah, it's just funny how like humans' brains work. You know, I don't know. It's just like
people don't
strange.
think that sometimes what they say is can actually be like upsetting.
Yeah, and like that's why I don't want to seem like I'm like a little wuss that like gets affected by people asking about my staff badge. Like, it's not just the one-off comments. Like, I actually like when people ask me that and I can explain I'm staff, and then they're like, oh, that's cool. But it's when people are like, that's the only thing they care about, and I'm like, I have value as a human being. I want to talk to you about the game. I don't want to talk about work. Like, so.
Whereas, for example, with the partner badge, people will be like, oh, well, she's got at least 75 average viewers. She definitely Twitch streams. I wonder what kind of things she streams. That is maybe more what their brain does.
Yeah, that's
rather than
true.
just The wrench.
So it's an interesting experience, but yeah, overall, fine. All good.
Surely the attention's quite cool as well, though. Getting a little bit of attention.
Yeah, I definitely feel like people are more interested in like chatting to me than they might have been before I had any badge. So like, yeah, it's nice, and like definitely like a few people have come to my stream just because they know that maybe I've been in someone else's and spoken, and they're like, I'm gonna go investigate and see what's going on here.
It's a way of getting eyes on you. And then once that part, actually, in my opinion, is maybe the hardest part, is getting people to first come back. Well, getting people to first arrive, getting people to stay, getting people to come back, I suppose.
Yes,
They're like the three hard bits.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I guess it's kind of like, well, what makes someone interested in you? Like, why should they, if they see you in a chat or they see you while you're offline, why would they come by? Like, what is it about them that would make them want to watch you?
To be unique.
Yeah, I guess the staff badge is unique, so you could say that. That
Yeah,
helps.
it's pretty uncommon. There you go. Yay, it's a positive. It is a positive. I do completely understand, though. I completely understand, like, where it would be sort of uncomfortable sometimes because you can't turn it off. Whereas with the partner badge, like, if that's ever making you uncomfortable, you can turn it off. I suppose it makes sense that you can't turn it off, so you can't go, like, all incognito and then suddenly whip it out. Like,
I'm here. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I do like that you can turn off the partner badge though, because again, if you are feeling that kind of bias towards you because you have the badge, you can kind of take that away and just have people see you for who you are, not just the badge. So it's nice.
Yeah. I never want it to look like I never want it to look like I'm trying to show it off. Do you know what I mean? Like if you go into like a small channel that doesn't have a lot of chatter, smaller channel. I hate using that term, small channel.
I think it's just one of those things, like, I think we are allowed to be happy about it. We're allowed to be proud of it. And like, I know that some people see that as like, you're just, like you said, you're showing it off, you're bragging, like you're trying to get people to come to your channel. And it's like,
not at all.
No, I literally worked for like a few years to get to this point. Like I want to have that badge, and I'm sorry if that offends you. So yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
It's just, one of those things.
So we talked a little bit about obviously the difference between working for Twitch and streaming with Twitch, streaming for Twitch, with Twitch, on Twitch, alongside, in partnership.
Yes. Well, yes.
What did you find the differences? Obviously, because you streamed before working for them, and I'm assuming through your love of streaming that encouraged you to apply to work for them.
Yeah.
What do you find the differences are in your content since working for Twitch? Are there any? Has it evolved in any way?
I feel like it has, but not that much. Like, I think the only ways it's changed is that I know a lot more. Like I was saying, like I've learned a lot more. I've invested time in knowing more, because before I just kind of went with whatever I thought was good. But now that I work there every day and I'm constantly like digesting different pieces of knowledge, I can then put that into my streams. So I feel like like I said before, I've learned a lot more about just like the tech side of stuff, how to set things up, what you would how you would help customer troubleshoot a certain thing. I understand a lot more about the different features on Twitch, and it's just made my whole streaming experience easier. But in terms of like the actual content and stuff, no, not much has really changed at all.
That's awesome. No, that's great. Yeah. Do you find that, obviously, because you mentioned you have flexible hours, do you find that really helps?
That's a very good
with
point.
Having a schedule.
That's been the best part, I would say, because before I was working as a psychology assistant in the NHS. Oh, wow. And yes, it was very like a lot going on, like 9 to 5, but I had to like, oh, you all right?
Spanking my mic.
I had to like travel a lot for work, so I didn't really have a lot of time to like schedule things. I had to be very, willy-nilly with it. Like I'll stream this day and then I don't know if I'm going to stream again for another few days. But now that I have the flexible working hours and I have very specific like days that I know that I'm going to stream now, And if there's anything that comes up, like that's maybe going to get in the way, I know that I can just stream the next day. Like nothing is in the way now. And I definitely think that helped me in my like path to getting partnered as well, like making sure that I could stream whenever I needed to. And like my work like could work around that, which was so good. So yeah, 100%, it's helped me so much.
That's awesome, because I feel like a schedule is one of the most important things, or at least a regular sort of streaming schedule.
Yeah, definitely.
When you are looking to obviously grow and expand. So you moved to London from Scotland.
Yes.
So you mentioned you had a boyfriend. Did he come with you?
No, he's still in Scotland. So we've been together for like 8 years.
Oh wow.
So we're very like together. So he was very, very like supportive and, you know, wanting me to come do this, because it was one of those things that I didn't even think would happen. I saw the job and I was like, oh, how funny would it be if I like applied for this? Like, I'll see what happens. Because at the time I was trying to become a clinical psychologist and I was going through training, you know, processes for that. And I very much thought this is just like a funny like thing to try. And then each stage kind of got progressively more serious and I was like, wait, I might have to do this. But like the whole time I was worried and I was like, should I do this? Is this kind of like putting my actual career on hold? Is this like silly? Like, and he was like, think of how much fun you'll have. Like, just don't think about your career and all that serious stuff now. Like, think of what you will enjoy and what kind of experience you'll get from doing that. And he really, really wanted me to do it. So yeah, he's like happy for me to do this. And it's not, I don't think it's a forever thing. Like, London is not for me. I love Scotland and I love having my family and friends and him around, and like it's not hard to go home, but it's like not convenient, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's a long way. It's a long way depending where you are. It's at least 4 or 5 hours on the train, right?
That's it. And it's quite expensive too. And so overall, I would definitely like to move back in the future and like just have everyone around me again and stuff. But for now, everything's great. Like, he comes down, visits me, and he's coming down at the end of March. And we're going to do this like crystal maze experience thing.
What?
I know, right?
Oh my God, that is one good thing about London, is there's so much in London.
We've done so much. Like, since I moved here, we've tried so many different things. So we're going to do that for his birthday. But yeah, it's hard to like not have people here. But I think the way I'm viewing it is that it's like a temporary thing. Like, I'm getting this experience. If I want to do gaming industry work in the future, this is a great place to start. I've moved out for the first time. I'm getting experience of doing that. I've met so many people. I've progressed a lot in my Twitch career, streaming career. And I just can't see any bad things about having done this now that I look back at and being worried about it. It's definitely paid off to do this. So, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Having a supportive partner really does help so much.
So much.
Oh my God, because it can be quite a lonely life streaming. Especially if you work for Twitch and then you come home and you stream for Twitch. Just having someone who supports you, like in real life, and your family as well, it's so important.
Someone you can vent to, I guess, as well, offline.
Yes. Oh, everyone needs one of them. Is he into Twitch?
Well, he doesn't stream or anything. Like, he watches some streams, but he's definitely not like a power user of the platform. So like,
but he knows what it is.
Yeah. Like, he definitely watches people, and he like follows and subs to me and stuff, like all the cute supportive things that he does for me. But yeah, he's not by any means on the same level of interest as me with it. So,
but almost like he does it almost for you because you love it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said earlier, he was the one who like told me to stream, so I kind of like owe it to him. So like, John, if you're watching, thank you.
He better be watching.
He better.
Supportive,
I'll send him the link. Oh, love it.
Oh, amazing. Well, this has been really good. Thank you so much. I feel like I've learned so much. Holy crap.
Oh, I'm glad. Like, it's nice to reflect on things, and you don't really get the chance to do that unless you're speaking with someone else about it who understands. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. Thank you for being here. So just while we're wrapping up, do you want to just say one more time where people can find you if they want to hang out with you?
Yeah, so if you're into Scottish accents, a lot of profanity and a lot of hard gameplay, torturous gameplay, you can follow me on Twitch, SariaSlays. I'm on Twitter and I'm trying to get better at being a Twitter, so if you want to follow me there, it's SariaSlays _ because the SariaSlays is suspended, which sucks. I don't know who that was. And then Instagram, I'm quite active on Instagram. I do a lot of kind of like photography, gaming photography, collection pictures, stuff like that. And that's just SariaSlays as well, if you want to follow me there.
And I really recommend you do. A lovely human.
Oh, thank you. You too.
So thank you so much once again. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much, Saria. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
We can always help each other. We can lean on one another. Keep trying. You can do it. Don't rage quit.